Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Radio Western's first ever live sports broadcast on YouTube, exclusively on YouTube. As some of you may know, this is Radio Western's All Black Everything Day, and sports could not cut into their programming, and thus we are doing our best alternative and broadcasting to you both OUA semifinal basketball games. To start off this doubleheader, we have the women's game, where they will be taking on the Brock Badgers. Last week, the Western Mustangs took on the Laurentian Voyagers, the McMaster Marauders in the first round of the playoffs, or the quarterfinals, and they won that tight game, by a final score of 64-63. It was a back-and-forth affair, going both ways, but somehow the Mustangs were able to pull through in the fourth quarter. The Mustangs' top scorers of that game were Maddie Horst with 19, Emma Johnson with 14, followed by Elizabeth LeBlanc with 13. As far as the Marauders go, they had Christina Bootenham with 18, Sarah Gates with 16, as well as Olivia Wilson with another 16. The Mustangs are looking to make it to their first ever OUA championships, which will be taking place on the March 6th to 8th weekend in Ottawa. We've got a great game set up for you guys. We got all the guys on color, all the guys on play-by-play, and everything. And kicking off at 8 o'clock will be the men's semifinal game between the Western Mustangs and the Laurier Golden Hawks. So stay tuned for that as well. We are now going to switch over to our broadcast team down at the stadium. We are starting with Zach Friedman on play-by-play, as well as Greg Campbell on color. Guys?
And welcome everyone to Alumni Hall. It's semi-final action and Critelli Cup action. We're just having a presentation right now for the all-star teams for the OUA right now as we bring in Greg Campbell. It's a very exciting game as Western Mustangs looking to make their way back to the Critelli Cup final.
Well, and the fact that they knocked off the defending national champions in their quarterfinal action here on Saturday at Alumni Hall, where it took a steal and a strip from Emma Johnson. And you talk about defense winning championships, and that's exactly what Nate McKibben and his team got when it came down to crunch time. Now, the other side, they're going to have a player of the year facing them, Melissa Taddy. And, you talk about defense, no better way to test it than against the league's best player.
Well, you said it there, Nate McKibben, not just last game, but this entire season has put an incredible defensive system in place for this Western Mustangs women team. But the story of the day is that Rachel Fragile continues to be sidelined with a lower body injury. And now they're looking for other Mustangs to step up. In last game, that was just the case, with 3 Mustangs finishing in double digits for rebounds.
Now, one of the interesting things, you talk about the rebounding in the bigs department. I want to see what Julia Cran's going to do in this game, because something that the Marauders zeroed in on, and that was noticeable very early on, is that Coran did not like using her left hand anytime she was in the paint. So she's always trying to divert back to that right hand at some point. We'll see if they took any cues, the Badgers, from what the Marauders did defensively against the Mustangs on Saturday afternoon, to see whether they can get to their first Critelli Cup in a long time.
Stepping into the starting lineup for the second straight game in place of the injured Fragile is Morgan Tominga. Coach McKibben told us before the game that she did a great job playing quality minutes. Though she didn't fill up the stat sheet, her minutes were powerful, and that's what they're looking for their post depth tonight from the Western Mustangs.
Well, and that's what Nate McKibben talked to me about before the game. I said, what's it say about your team to get a defensive stop in that last possession to, knock off the defending national champions? And he told me, he said, a lot of things done on that particular play, but not even just that play throughout the game. They won't go down on the stat sheet, whether it's playing that help defense, whether it's supporting each other, whether it's getting that key box out, whether it's watching their film. So, it's the little things like that that are going to make a difference. And if you want to host a Critelli Cup this coming Saturday, then we'll see what's going to happen.
So it's going to be the Western Mustangs versus the Brock Badgers. Your Western Mustangs first in the OUA in terms of record, with a record of 19-3. But we're going to send it back to the studio for the national anthems.
All right, moments away from tip-off between the Western Mustangs and the Brock Badgers. As Zach and Greg just said, the Western Mustangs finished this year first place. I've talked about it a couple times on this season, on these broadcasts before, but the Western Mustangs flipped from 3-19 to 19-3. Unreal. This is in light of their new head coach, Mr. Nate McKibben, as well as some new additions from Teaching College, including Rachel Fragile and Maddie Horst, if I believe. But yeah, it should be an exciting game. Biggest Mustangs game in the decade, or in the past decade. And it's a very interesting aspect that we got going on, live streaming this on YouTube. But hey, we're doing what we can do. We still got our excellent play, our excellent color, our less than excellent hosting, brought to you by yours truly. But it is what it is. Just a couple moments here while the national anthem runs out. And now we're going to switch it back to our guys down at the stadium, Zach Friedman and Greg Campbell. Guys?
Starting lineups for this semifinal game between the number 1 seed Western Mustangs and the number 4 seed Brock Badgers. I'm Zach Friedman, here with Greg Campbell as they present the starting lineups here. Let's go back in history and see when these last two teams have been in the Critelli Cup. Western Mustangs have not won a Critelli Cup since 1974. That's almost 50 years ago, and the Brock Badgers with an almost 40-year drought of 1983. Greg, both these teams hungry to get that championship again.
Well, Mike Rao in his second year for the Badgers. He used to coach Notre Dame back in Burlington for over 35 years. And then you got Nate McKibben, a first-year head coach in the OUA. He was out west before at Mount Allison, and now he is in the OUA. We talk about the starting lineups for both sides. Starting for the Brock Badgers, Sam Keltos, the 6'3", third-year center out of St. Catharines, Ontario. You got Jessica Morris, 5'8", fourth-year guard of Guelph, Ontario. Melissa Taddy, the player of the year. She's going to be the key to this game. If they want to go to the Critelli Cup, they got to stop her early and often. 5'4", fifth-year out of Ancaster, Ontario. Kristen Gallant, 5'7", third-year guard out of St. Catharines, Ontario. And then you got Sophia Croce, the second-year forward out of Oakville, Ontario.
For the Western Mustangs, you got the leader of this team, number 4, Maddie Horst, having an amazing season, which was just capped off last game by her 19 points and 10 rebounds. She also had 6 assists onto that. Then you have Elizabeth Leblanc, who's among the league leaders in blocks. The Western Mustangs really going to look to her tonight as a defensive leader with the injured Fragile. And then you've also got Julia Corinne, who, as you mentioned earlier, needs to work back to that left hand as she struggled with the entire postseason. You got Emma Johnson, the always reliable hustle guard back there. And then in center, replacing the injured Fragile, is Morgan Tominga, who Nate McKibben is really looking to provide some really important, valuable minutes in the paint.
And the Badgers are now on the court talking things over. They'll be wearing their white uniforms with the red number letter logo and trim. They're going to be sponsored by Nike on your Wednesday evening. And then while the Western Lady Mustangs, they're just waiting to be introduced at this point as the board officially goes off introducing the Mustangs. They'll be in their Under Armour uniforms. They've got the gray letter number and logos and the purple trim all the way through. And we got, just like Saturday afternoon, partner, we have a split crowd. As you know, the faithful from the 401 West have made their way down here, and they are in the red. So we got to the immediate left of us, you listening on the radio dial, we have the Brock Badgers fans, and then we got the Western Mustangs fans to our immediate right.
And Western pulling out all the stops for this game with signs in the stands. The marching band is here, and behind us they set up a little alcohol zone where some people can enjoy a nice adult beverage if they would so enjoy to.
Now, I have not had one myself at this point, but I'm sure if the teams do win, we'll all be celebrating a Mustangs double victory hopefully this evening with a little champagne and a trip to not only the Wilson Cup but the Critelli Cup finals as well. And this is big because if the Western Mustangs do pull off this victory tonight, they will be hosting either Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening here at Alumni Hall. The one disappointing thing we were just talking about before we were moments from tip-off here is that you mentioned they raised the ticket prices, which I think as a student, it's a Wednesday evening. You've got one of the biggest games of the year here, and yeah, it's hard to find students to come here because they're raising the prices. We'll see how the crowd noise affects as we're at basically, we'll call it a 60-40 split in favor of the Mustangs.
Y'all ready for this? Plays through the speakers at Alumni Hall as they set up for the tip. It will be Morgan Tominga versus Sam Keltos. Sam Keltos 10th in the league in points per game and also 11th in three-point percentage, and it's won by the Brock Badgers, and it'll be Kristen Gallant at the top of the key. She's guarded by Horst. It's over to Keltos. Keltos now to the wing to Jessica Morris. She passes it up to Sophia Croce. Now it's with Melissa Toddy, the star for the Brock Badgers. She's looking for an option, doesn't have one, gives it off to Keltos. 7 on the shot clock. Keltos working at the elbow, goes down, and it's stolen early by Elizabeth LeBlanc, and Maddie Horst takes it up the court, over to Coran, and that's a layup for 2. It's 2-0 Western Mustangs.
And what better start could you ask for? You win the game last week against the national champions. Defensively, you get a steal on the Badgers' first possession, easy 2 points.
Morris with it on the wing. She's driving baseline, looking for an option, doesn't have one. Now she passes it back out to Gallant, over to Croce. Western Mustangs starting in a man defense. Taminga going for Croce there, but Croce works it to the left hand nicely.
A nice little pick and roll and a pass between 2 defenders in the lane there. A nice easy finish. You're going to look to attack the paint early and often.
Horst brings it up the middle, over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc driving, passes it to the corner. That's Emma Johnson for a 3, no good, but it's rebounded by Coran. She puts it up, just misses the layup, and it's rebounded by the Badgers. Going down awkwardly there was Croce, but now the ball is up to Kristen Gallant, who will bring it up the far side.
Well, good job by Coran, who's doing a great job this year in terms of 11.4 points per game, and then a rebounding department, 6.4. Second chance opportunity as the Badgers miss, and a putback, and that's going to be missed as well. Third chance, you can't allow that.
That's Melissa Toddy now with the ball after the third offensive rebound there. And that's going to be no good there from Sam Keltos. Just rolled around and popped out. Maddie Horst now has the balls for the Western Mustang. Coran gives her a screen. Horst pulls up for 3. It's no good, but Taminga pulls down the rebound, and it's stolen away by Kristen Gallant as she comes up the far side. Sees a hole, gives it off to the corner to Jessica Morris. Back out to Toddy. Toddy driving left, goes for it, blocked away. Elizabeth LeBlanc, we mentioned before the game, Greg, she's among the league leaders in block, averaging 1.4 a game, and she shows her ability to protect the rim there.
Well, national champion, a defender of the year in U Sport, and you saw her matched up on Saturday afternoon with Christina Buddingham, and that was the key difference in that game. You know, you have an all-defensive player matched up with the OUA player of the year in Melissa Toddy. That is going to be the matchup. She does have the height difference, so we'll see what they can exploit here early on. 7:49 to go in the first quarter, knotted at 2.
Keltos has the ball now. She's around the free throw line. Didn't have an option, gives it back out to Gallant. Back over to Keltos. Keltos with a spinning jumper, no good. Rebound Maddie Horst, and she's running up the floor over to Coran. Coran looking for an option. She's guarded by Toddy, over to Horst. Horst gets the screen from Coran, chooses not to use it. Horst back out to Coran. Coran the 3, and it's good!
Julia Coran with a 3-pointer there, only shooting 22% from the land beyond this year. It doesn't matter, she's good there. They're up by 3.
Toddy over to Croce. Croce, it's no good. Maddie Horst tips the ball to Taminga, and now Emma Johnson has it, and they're going to bring it up in the half court. Johnson gets the screen from Coran. Coran seals her man off. Elizabeth LeBlanc now with the mini right-hand floater, and it's good. 7-2 Mustangs, 6:55 left to go in the first quarter.
Team's third leading scorer at 12 points per game, shoots 34% for the field. They steal Coran going the other way up court. The defense for the Mustangs, 7-2 lead here early on.
LeBlanc now has the ball on the near side wing, gets the screen from Coran. LeBlanc driving right, another floater, and it drops through.
And you hear Coach Nate McKibben beside me here saying, exploit Kristen Gallant and blow by her right again. He says this team is best when they're out, they're running freely, and that's what they're doing. A 9-2 lead, 6:30 left here to go as Toddy with a tough basket cuts the lead to 5.
Melissa Toddy there with a tough basket as Ariane Samur and Brett Fisher make their way to the table. Maddie Horst looking for an option, nearly had a lane violation there.
Horst basically hovering over the line like a yoga pose there before LeBlanc was able to cue in.
Horst now passes it off to Coran. Coran sees LeBlanc in the skip pass. LeBlanc for the shot, just short. Rebound Croce.
It's interesting that LeBlanc chose that 3-pointer. They're daring them to shoot that 3-pointer here early on. We'll see if they adjust that as they're playing that 2-3 zone.
Western Mustangs, not a very good three-point shooting team, as that's Jessica Morris who puts in the left-handed hook shot.
Yeah, you just can't allow dribble penetration into the lane. She averages 11 on the year, 44% from the field. You just can't allow easy baskets like this in a semifinal game.
Maddie Horst driving right, shot no good. Morgan Taminga got the rebound, but stripped away by Croce. And now Toddy brings it up the floor for the Brock Badgers. She's guarded by Horst. Horst trying to get over the screen by Croce, doesn't skip pass there to Jessica Morris. Her three-pointer's good. And just like that, it's a 9-9 ball game.
Morris on a 5-0 run on her own, ties the game at 9, 5:15 left here to go. And what happens? Tominga on the possession before. First-year player brings the ball down on the rebound, gets stripped, 3 points the other way. Horst responds.
Nice play, Horst, there after the handoff from Tominga. Now Toddy brings up the ball.
I love this matchup. Melissa Toddy and Maddie Horst, two feisty guards.
Toddy with the shot. Good contest there, no good. LeBlanc bringing up the ball now. She skips it over to Curran. Curran back to Johnson. Another screen by Curran. Doesn't roll, though, and it's stolen away there by Jessica Morris.
Badgers here early on. It's 11-9, 4:40 to go here in the first quarter, but so far, so good for the visitors. They're staying intact with this game. They're not allowing the noise to affect them as the right wing three is made on the play. Again, Sam Keltos, the center. You're letting the center hit a three, you're in for trouble.
Sam Keltos, though she is a center, is 11th in the OUA in three-point percentage as Maddie Horst has the ball on the far side. Now Emma Johnson has it. Crosses over. Spin move on Toddy. Doesn't find anyone. Curran almost up and down there, but she drives in, and her little floater goes through.
Well, Curran gets the defender in the air initially, splits two, goes off the right hand, right foot, gets it to go. 1 point lead for the Mustangs, 13-12.
Oh, and an open drive there for Kristen Gallant. No defense there in the paint.
There's about 6 points already in the paint there, partner, that have just been unaccounted for. Nate McKibben's going to have a talk with them probably at the end of the first quarter about that.
LeBlanc's three goes down. Corner three there for Elizabeth LeBlanc. Elizabeth LeBlanc only shooting 21% from three on the year. Knocks it down. It's going to be Toddy now. Toddy skips it out. That's Jessica Morris. And now that's Croce Tominga. Great D staying vertical. Rebound LeBlanc. LeBlanc slows it down. Finds Emma Johnson. Curran gives her the screen. Over to Horst. Horst skips it over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc, another three. It's long. And it's rebounded there by Croce for the Brock Badgers.
Yeah, and just you get a little greedy. You see a couple go through the net. They're not the best shot selection for the Mustangs, but all good. 3:10 left to go in the first quarter. 16-14 lead for the home side.
That's Sam Keltos now. That's now Jessica Morris, but she misses the easy layup.
So they had 6 points in the paint that have been easy so far. They've had 2 or 3 unaccounted ones they should have made at this point. They got to figure out that dribble penetration. They're getting killed.
Nice backdoor feed from Maddie Horst as Emma Johnson banks it in from about 8 feet.
Yeah, and Johnson on the wing as they have a foot violation. So Horst almost got caught for one on the other side. They're going to get called down by the Badgers. So what Johnson does, very effective on the left wing there, sees her defender cheat up high like she's calling for the ball, goes for a simple backdoor. And I mean, that's easy pick and roll. You know, that's just something you do since you're a young player. Fundamentals, and that's why they have a 4-point lead.
Samur and Fisher check in for Johnson and Tominga as now Brett Fisher takes a 15-footer from the corner. No good, but Julia Curran guzzles up the rebound. Out to LeBlanc. Now Brett Fisher with it. She has an open three, and it just rattles out, and the rebound goes to the Brock Badgers, and that's Kristen Gallant.
Yeah, the Badgers survived that one there, but again, Julia Curran active as LeBlanc steals coast-to-coast layup the other way, and wow, what a great job defensively by the Mustangs.
Elizabeth LeBlanc, the key defender tonight for the Western Mustangs, another steal, and puts it in for 2 as now Toddy brings up the ball. She gives it to Keltos. Now it's over to Morris. Morris looking for an option, and that's it to Mary Iveson, who just checked into the game, and she turns it over.
So there's going to be a pair of substitutions for McKibben. Jenna Lawrence checking into the game for Julia Curran, as is Emma Johnson checking back into the game, and then the Badgers with a substitution as well, checking back into the game, Jessica Morris, as well as it looks like checking in for the first time this evening, if I'm not mistaken, Mary Iveson, the first-year forward out in Nepean, Ontario.
Also in the game, Jenica Pilling for the Brock Badgers, making her first appearance of the game as Samur now has the ball at the top, waiting to get set up.
No confusion. They are man-to-man now, starting a 2-3 zone.
Fisher with the ball in the corner, skips it over. Tipped by Morris there, but Emma Johnson has it. Gets the screen there from Jenna Lawrence. Johnson, 3 on the shot clock. Has to heave it up, and it goes! What a shot there from Jenna Lawrence, about 5 feet beyond the three-point line. Heaves it up at the end of the shot clock, and it goes through.
Not what Nate McKibben drew up, but hey, nonetheless, 23-14 now, 9-point lead with 1:30 to go in the first quarter.
It's Toddy with the ball now, over to Morris. Morris driving left. No good, rebound Samur. The Western Mustangs really running with the ball now as Samur
They're out
slows
on
it
their
down.
horses right now. They are galloping right now. They have not lost momentum from Saturday.
Samur in the middle to Lawrence, and it's stripped away by Toddy. And it's going to be a blocking foul on Jenna Lawrence.
Excellent hands. Toddy comes on the help side from the weak side, steps into the lane. Again, active hands, young players. Lawrence grabs the ball low. And as soon as you catch that ball low, you're asking for disaster. Toddy with the active strip gets the foul. And now they're going to try and chip back into this lead with just over a minute to go in the first quarter.
Both coaches letting their teams play as we have yet to have a timeout in this game, as it's Morris now on the far side. Morris over to Keltos. Keltos driving left, finishes right, and it goes through.
She's got a bit of a height difference, a little bit of size again, just gets that inside position into the lane. Nothing Lawrence can do about that one.
Samur now has the ball. Jenna Lawrence gives her a little screen but doesn't choose to use it. Samur now gets a screen from Brett Fisher. Samur fades it off to Fisher. Fisher's elbow jumper no good. Rebounded by Pilling. Pilling now over to Toddy, and Toddy crosses the timeline as there's 31 seconds. Are they going to go for a 2-for-1 opportunity here? Toddy step back, no good. Rebound Emma Johnson. 23 seconds left in the first quarter. It's over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc running the floor, and a foul's going to be called, and she's going to go to the line for 2 shots there.
And the veteran there, knowing that there needs to be a change of pace in this game as the Brock Badgers kind of dictating the tempo there, calls her own number 1 on 3 the other way. Size difference comes into the play. LeBlanc goes to the line, an 85% free throw shooter.
I believe the foul's on Jenica Pilling as the first free throw goes. 18.5 remaining for 24-16. You're listening to the first half of a Mustangs basketball doubleheader on the Radio Western YouTube stream for the first time ever, as Melissa Toddy should bring the ball up for the final possession of the first quarter. Only 2 fouls total with 10 seconds left on the clock here.
Toddy and LeBlanc. It's going to say a lot about this game, how this possession goes.
Toddy crosses right into the middle, looks for the corner for Sam Keltos. Corner 3, no good. Samur fighting for the rebound, and it's taken by LeBlanc, and that is the end of the first quarter. It is 25-16 for the Western Mustangs. And Greg, what seemed to be like a shaky start of the game for this Western Mustangs defense, they were really able to hunker down at the end of the quarter there.
Well, I guess home court pays dividends here, especially being the number 1 team in the OUA record-wise this season, racing out to a 9-point lead. Again, it's the veterans that come out to play. Horse, the little things she does throughout game that go unnoticed as they have a horse race going on here at Alumni Hall. But again, LeBlanc comes out to play, the player of the game in terms of defensive matchup last game against the Marauders. They knocked out the national champions. That's a huge punch to take in the face, and they weathered the storm. So I think that's one of the toughest contests they got out of the way at this point. On the other side, you have the Ottawa Gee-Gees and the Ryerson Rams, the only 2 teams to beat the Western Mustangs this year, awaiting. They're going to be playing this evening as well. So the Mustangs, you got to get stuff done here on home court first, but you can't ask for a better first quarter. A 25-19 lead, courtesy 16 lead, courtesy of 53% shooting from the field. LeBlanc already double digits, 4-6 from the field, 11 points. And then Julia Cran, got a little bit of a heavy criticism from my end. 3 of 4 in that first quarter and 7 points. And then, on the Brock Badgers, it's been a little bit of scoring by committee, but no one really stands out.
No one's standing out at all, but Croce does have those 4 rebounds early. But what's really impressive is that the turnover margin in this game, for these teams, they both have pretty high turnover rates on the season. And only 3 turnovers in the first quarter for the Western Mustangs and 5 turnovers for the Brock Badgers. But those 5 turnovers, 3 of them came off Elizabeth LeBlanc steals. So LeBlanc asserting herself defensively early, as Deborah Campbell will be checking in for the first time. And out with Campbell right now is Horst, Johnson, Karan, and Taminga. And for the Brock Badgers, it's going to be Morris, Toddy, Pilling, Croce, and Keltos.
Staying with that 3-2 matchup zone now to begin the second quarter.
Screen there from Karan for Horst. Campbell now has it. She fakes. Johnson in the corner. Contested 3 just off the short front rim. And it's going to be an over-the-back foul on Julia Karan, and it's going to be a turnover there for the Western Mustangs.
Yeah, Karan just a little bit of a reach on that one, trying to hopelessly grab that rebound. But it's interesting. The Badgers initially show a 3-2 zone to begin that defensive setup there on that possession. Dropped to 2-3 once they had their matchups.
It's over to Toddy now. Toddy driving right, dishes it off, and it's stolen there by, I believe, Morgan Taminga got her hand on it. And Maddie Horst just gives it away there to Keltos. Not a good pass at all from her, and now Toddy brings it up. Toddy, who's top 5 in practically every offensive statistical category you have in the OUA. It's over to Morris now, though, and Keltos gives it over to Pilling. Pilling's three-point attempt, banks it, but it doesn't go through. Croce diving for it, gets the offensive rebound, but that's going to be a travel as she rolled over.
Yeah, and what happened to Croce just hits the floor as she grabs that ball and slides her feet. But again, that's intensity you need. You're down 9 to begin this second quarter. 9:08 left here in the first half at Alumni Hall. The Western Mustangs looking to book a trip to the Critelli Cup final.
Mustangs still up 9 as Horse has the ball. Elbow jumper doesn't go through. Rebounded by the Brock Badgers. That was Pilling who saved it. Now Toddy passes it up to Morris. Morris back to Toddy, swings it over. That's Pilling. Pilling with a little step-through move, gives it back to Morris. Morris, spin dribble, into the corner. That's Pilling for three. No good. Rebound, Coran.
Coran with a good box out there. Again, transition. Horse putting her foot to the pedal.
Johnson now has the ball for the Mustangs as she brings it back to the top, gets a screen by Tominga, chooses to go the other way. Out to Coran. Coran had the three, doesn't take it. Goes for the hook, and a contested finish through two women.
Julia Coran, very efficient, 4 of 5 from the field, near double digits already. She's got off to an excellent start in this contest.
It's Morris now, near side corner, three-pointer, good!
Jessica Morris, 5 points, 1 of 1 from the land beyond, make that 2 of 2 in the second quarter. Very efficient shooter, and again, we'll see who can let the three ball fly the most here.
Horst has it now, Coran, bounce pass through. Horst, a nice spinning pass to Emma Johnson, doesn't go though. That's going to be tipped out by Toddy, though, and it will still remain Western Mustangs basketball.
And so what happens there? Maddie Horst driving into the lane from the left wing, and then Toddy, recognizing she's going to dribble penetrate into the lane there, sets up for the charge of that situation. Horst spins it, just gets that ball off to her teammate, avoiding the contact and the charge. Well, with 7:52 left to go here in the first half of Alumni Hall, your Mustangs up 8 currently, 27-19.
Shot clock resets to 14 on the offensive take of the rebound. It's going to be Emma Johnson handing in the ball. Over to Tominga now. Tominga into Coran, just too hot to handle, and it goes out of bounds. And it'll be Brock Badgers basketball.
And it's kind of concerning to me that, yes, we have a 60-40 crowd. But the fact that the Brock Badgers faithful are this loud in Alumni Hall, I think that's a huge no-no. But you got to see the Western faithful pick it up here with their noise.
Keltos for three, no good. Rebound there, Horst, another sloppy pass as Keltos steals it again. And that's Morris in the corner, in the middle to Keltos. And that's over to Croce, the cross pass there. The cross key pass just goes in, and the Western Mustangs starting to break down defensively early in the second quarter.
Yeah, Tominga and Coran double there, and then it just leaves one open. It's a numbers game. They lose that battle.
Tominga now has it at the top. Over to Horst, looking for an option, drives right. Sees Coran just inside the three-point line, and it goes through. 29-21 Mustangs with just over 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Coran puts her arms out for a screen as if she's like a bench player spraying her arms out there. I'm surprised she didn't get called for any interference. Nonetheless, 8-point lead, 29-21.
Kristen Gallen, who checked back into the game, had it. She gave it over to Morris. Now it's Keltos driving right into Coran. Good no call there by the officials.
That's big girl basketball here. It's OUA semifinal. You're not going to call that in any situation.
Tominga now has it, and that's Horst now with it. Waiting for the offense to get set up. She passes it down to Tominga. It's now Coran with the ball. Gives it up to Emma Johnson, who's at the top. She dribbles right. Coran chooses not to take the three. Chooses a floater, though, from the elbow, and doesn't go, but Morgan Tominga has it. And it's going to be a jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Brock Badgers right now. So next jump ball will go to the Western Mustangs.
So Lawrence is going to check back into the game as a Samir, and then Tominga is going to check out, and Emma Johnson. But that kind of floater is something you see kind of what Steve Nash. I don't remember a lot of people just pulling up with the defender right in front of them, not in transition, but in a set offensive play. So a very peculiar choice for that offensive set. Nonetheless, they're still up 6.
That's Toddy now in the paint. Checking in is Eden Ferraro as Keltos gets her first rest. The layup there by Morris is no good. The rebound there was by Morris, and it's going to be an offensive foul on Morris. And it'll be the Western Mustangs ball.
If I'm head coach Mike Rao right now, I am fuming. That's 8 to 10 points left there, wide open. The defense completely collapsed, though. C is open for the taking there. Another blown layup. They should have the lead right now, yet they're trailing by 6.
Oh, and Toddy just takes it away from Coran. Coran not paying attention to the weak side. and it's a 4-point game now as Horst brings the ball up for the Western Mustangs.
Melissa Toddy, active hands, 2.5 per game. You can't be caught sleeping, especially Julia Cran and big.
Maddie Horst now feeds it off to Coran. Jenna Lawrence, she's getting trapped in the post, and Toddy just so active defensively, but leaves Samur open in the corner, and she hits the three.
And she leaves her right hand up as if to tell him, you can't leave me open for that long. We're going to make you pay 32-25, 5:25 left to go in the first half.
Ariane Samur, only a 25% three-point shooter on the year, but hits one from the corner there. As Toddy now has the ball, she skips it over. Just out of the hands there of Kristen Gallant, and it's going to be Western Mustangs ball. A few turnovers here early for the Brock Badgers.
And it's a sustained effort by Nate McKibben and his squad so far. So, they're keeping up a great pace at this point. They're 9th in the OUA in steals per game at 9. And, as Horst missed the shot there, they just keep moving.
LeBlanc tried battling for the rebound there, but boxed out too hard by Eden Ferraro as Toddy brings the ball up for the Badgers, gets the screen from Croce, driving left. Little scoop shot, doesn't go. Rebound Croce. Croce working her way baseline. She throws it out of bounds there. Maybe she was trying to get it to the corner, realized no one was there, and just hurls it out of bounds.
Well, and again, she puts the ball down to the floor. That allows the triple team to happen and collapse, and she has nowhere to go but out of bounds.
Horst brings the ball up now, gets the screen from Lawrence, chooses not to use it, finds Coran. Coran dribbling left, spin move right, double team there, and that's stolen there by Kristen Gallant, who averages a steal per game on the year.
Second time Coran's been stripped in this quarter.
It's now Morris. Morris gets the screen there from Gallant. And it's going to be a travel there on Morris. So Morris with both an offensive foul and a pair of turnovers early. Well, not early. We're about halfway through the second quarter here. 32-25 for the Mustangs.
Keltos and Pilling checking back in for Mike Rao and his squad. They got to get something going. Down 7, 4:25 left to go here in the first half.
Horst gives it off to Samur. Samur gives it right back. Gets the off-ball screen from Coran there. Maddie Horst driving left is double teamed. This zone is starting to trap as people go to the corners. Jenna Lawrence with the three, and it goes through.
That ball's kicked around from the corner, around the world, ends up at the top of the key. LeBlanc, the veteran move, puts it to the opposite side, and again another three-pointer. The Marauders died by the three-pointer on Saturday afternoon. The Mustangs living and thriving off it here.
Keltos back on the floor, no good there, and it's going to be Mustangs basketball off the rebound. And Mike Rowe is not pleased with that call as he felt the Mustang defenders pushed it out of the offensive rebounding hands.
Well, and you have veteran officials here this evening, Anna Del Cole, Kayla Herdman, and Melissa Fafam on this team. So they're not going to take anything this afternoon, especially with this much on the line.
Coran with the ball now, gives it off to LeBlanc. LeBlanc sweeps through. Her floater from the side is good.
And again, it's fundamental. Sweep, defender has you on the right side, sweep it to the left, and then the floater off the right hand as Nate McKibben screams to the scores table for a timeout pending a Brock make.
That will be the first timeout of this game, and there's 3 minutes left to go in the first half as Keltos now has it at the free throw line. Her elbow jumper is good. A smooth jumper there from Keltos.
Yeah, it's just experience there over Julia Cran. Again, Cran has great at the game she's had offensively. A couple of miscues. She's had a pair of turnovers as she's been stripped. She's been lazy in terms of her ball placement and approach when she does have the ball in her hands. But so far, so good. 36-27, your Western Mustangs lead. And the Brock Badgers coming into this contest, well, how did we get to this point? They're 17-5 on the year. They were 7-3 in their last 10 games. That was good for second in the OUA Central. They're now to 3 divisions versus the old 2 in terms of reforming. I think Ryerson and Ottawa, the first place team in the Central and the East, squaring off for the other berth in the Critelli Cup.
A nice little tidbit there. We had that corner three from Jenna Lawrence. That is her first three-point make of the season. So coming at a very good time here in what is still a very close game. 9 points is nothing in the new era of basketball, Greg.
And what also happened to get to this point, well, the Brock Badgers at Bob Davis Gym in St. Catharines, they knocked off Chantal Vallet's powerhouse, who won 5 straight national championships back in the earlier part of the 2010 era, 61-57 in a very short turnaround. Now, for all of you that don't follow OUA basketball as closely as some, what they used to do was that they would have a weekend tournament where the highest seed would host, and in the last couple of years they've switched to this kind of semifinal Wednesday format. And back on action on the court, the Mustangs lead by 9.
Samur, another corner three short. Rebounded there by Gallant for the Brock Badgers, but a good look there for Samur. Gallant now has it up the floor, gets the screen from Kaltos. Gallant now picks up her dribble, and that's over to Eden Ferraro. Ferraro back out to Gallant, gets the screen there. Gallant driving right, great D there from Jenna Lawrence.
Stayed vertical, and then she didn't catch the foul, even though her hands fell at the end. Transition Mustangs.
Samur driving right, trapped in the corner, brings it back up. Leblanc over to Horst. Horst triple, no good. Rebounded there by Kaltos. Kaltos, 8 rebounds on the year, good for 9th in the OUA. As it's Gallant now with it on the wing, gives it over to Toddy. Toddy dribbling left, and Kaltos with her 3, air ball completely, and Leblanc gets the easy rebound. It's Leblanc now with the ball. Looking for an option, she gives it over to Horst. Into the corner, that's Samur. Samur driving right, skips it over to Leblanc. Leblanc jab step, 3, no good. Coran, no, offensive rebound, no good.
They're screaming for a foul. I like the no call again. They're big girl basketball here.
After diving for the ball, the Brock Badgers have it. Now it's Toddy as she gets the screen there from Ferraro. And now it's Gallant with the ball as she works her way up to the top, guarded by Leblanc right now. Coran against Kaltos in the post. Just a nice move there by Kaltos, but it's no good. Rebound Samur.
A little too much muscle. Enough muscle to displace Coran, but a little too hefty on the shot.
Samur now has it, retreats now, and she works it back to the top looking for a play. Horst now has it. Coran trying to post up there against Jenica Pilling, who's back into the game. Horst going up with it, trying to draw a foul, doesn't get one, but Samur grabs the rebound, and Coran has it. 14 reset on the shot clock, and LeBlanc has it now. Finds Jenna Lawrence for a 15-footer in the corner, and it goes down. Some nice second chance opportunities there for the Western Mustangs.
And you can't allow second chance opportunities, especially being down 11 with over a minute to go here in the first half.
As we enter the final minute here, it's now Toddy with the ball, gives it in the corner to Pilling. Pilling now over to Ferraro, back to Pilling, trying to work on Samur. Samur gets her hand across there, and it's going to be a foul, and she's going to go to the line, and that's Jenica Pilling, who will be going to the line for 2.
Samur's just going to walk away in this situation. No, she got beat there, but Julia Coran on the other side has been taking a beating here. I mean, you're seeing half-hearted screens right now. There are some big girls for those Brock Badger ladies there, bowling her around. She's doing her job, but what's interesting is that both teams are forcing their initial offensive sets as the first free throw is missed. Very, very high in those situations. So if you're not recovering correctly, what you're going to have is those easy backdoor and layup opportunities. But both sides so far have done a good job of eliminating those chances as she goes 1 for 2, 38-28, 50 seconds to go.
Jenica Pilling sticking with the average there. She's a 52% free throw shooter on the year. It's now Horst at the top, and now LeBlanc has the ball on the near side. Looking for an option, now chooses to use her dribble, gets a screen there for Coran, a hard screen, but it's going to be a travel there. Just waited a bit too long there to dump it off to Coran, and she slides that pivot foot.
Now, depending how quickly they go with this possession, they could go 2 for 1 with 39 seconds left to go. It'll be interesting as Toddy's matched up with Horst. A late substitution coming, Jessica Morris back into the game for the Badgers, and Eden Ferraro, check it out.
39 seconds left on the clock. 38-28 Western Mustangs. Semi-final action. The winner of this game goes to the Critelli Cup final as Toddy throws it away just a little too high for the reach of Jessica Morris. And now Western, if they work it up the floor, they probably won't be able to get up and get a shot attempt in 6 seconds.
I mean, they'd have to force a Houston Rockets old under 7 seconds to even have a shot at that. If you're Nate McKibben, you're happy to have this 10-point lead going into the half. The rest is gravy.
LeBlanc finds Jenna Lawrence. Jenna Lawrence likes that spot in the corner, and she hits another one.
Again, Horst zip pass to LeBlanc on the left side. Momentum defense carries to that right side defensively. Finds it another partner on the right side. Again, it's just momentum. It's simplicity.
7 seconds left. Toddy has the ball, driving into the middle. Back out to Kaltos. Kaltos, her 3, no good. Rebound going around, and it's out of bounds, but they're going to say that the half is over. We're going to see here from the officials here, and they are going to say that the half is over. So no .2 or .3 left on the clock for some miracle heave or some alley-oop of some kind.
I was going to say, if we're playing in the NBA, they'd probably take a look at that in that situation. I believe there was theoretically time to finish that half. But, I mean, neither side is, both sides are content to get out. Mike Rowell just wants to get his team to the locker room. He's got a lot to think about as he's got, the marker in the right hand there. He's going to be drawing up a lot there. in the locker room. And if you're Nate McKibben, what a half. I mean, you knock off the defending champs. You have this added extra quote-unquote pressure semifinal game at home, trying to advance to Critelli Cup final. Doesn't look like they missed a beat. 40-28 halftime lead. You can't ask for a better first half.
Much lower scoring quarter there, 15-12 in favor of the Western Mustangs, but the Western Mustangs just showing why they're one of the best teams in the OUA, if not the best team in the OUA, with their incredible defense, led tonight by Elizabeth Leblanc. As now, we're going to get back to you in about 14 minutes time here as we're going to go into the half. It's 40-28 for the Western Mustangs as we're going to send things back to Etay Kuperman in the studio.
Thank you very much, Zach Friedman and Greg Campbell. I did not catch the score, but the Mustangs are up big after the first and the second quarter. We're going to take a short break here on the Mustangs' first ever YouTube stream, right here on YouTube, Radio Western's very own stream. Catch us after the break. All right, we're going to throw it back to our team down at Alumni Hall. Once again, Zach Friedman on the call and Greg Campbell on color. Guys?
And welcome back, everyone, to Alumni Hall for the second half of basketball in this semifinal game between the Western Mustangs and the Brock Badgers. The story here, Western Mustangs up 12 early, but let's not forget what happened with the Brock Badgers in their quarterfinal matchup against Windsor, down 19 points going into the fourth quarter, and then outscored Windsor 29-6 in that fourth quarter to go on to advance into this semifinal game. So the Mustangs really got to get on their horse here and continue to put their foot down on the Brock Badgers as we bring Greg Campbell back in here.
Yeah, the Lady Badgers, no strangers to winning on the road, a 7-3 regular season road record. And it helps you say, partner, about, erasing a 19-point deficit. Helps when your sophomore, Melissa Taddy, is just all over the court on the air coming into the season. Starting 18 and 22 games, 18.5 points per game, 84% from the free throw line, 35% land beyond, 40% from the field in general, average 4.5 rebounds, 6.6 assists, and then 2.5 steals a game. We saw her do a couple of those in the first half there. So, again, they've kept her in check for the most part at this point. She's only 2 of 6 for 4 points in 20 minutes of action, and she has 5 turnovers, as you so pointedly corrected out right there. But, it just comes down to, can they stop Taddy? They did that in the first half. They have a 12-point lead. Can they repeat that for another 20 minutes on the court?
It seemed like from our end, what would have been a great first half from Sam Kaltos. Sam Kaltos actually going 4 of 14 from the field, so right off the bat, Western Mustangs in that first half have done a great job neutralizing the 2 players you needed to look out for on this Brock Badgers team, and that just goes to attribute their team defense. And also, you look at the Brock Badgers, a team that was 4th in the OUA this year with 16 assists per game. Right now, after one half of play, only 6 assists.
Well, the one thing that's going against them is they don't have anyone really leading the bullet, because if Taddy's not going, Kelto's 4 of 14 for 9 points. Jessica Morris got a pair of 3 balls. She's 2 of 2 from that department for 8 points. You look at the flip side, the Mustangs, they've got 3 players almost in double digits. You got Jenna Lawrence with 9 points, 4 of 4 from the field in the first half. And then Leblanc and Kuperman both 5 of 8 from the field, 13 and 11 points respectively apiece. They're leading the scoring. They are, in terms of the rebounding department, they've got a slight edge, but Brock, talked to Coach Mike Rao before the game. He said they're a very tall team. They had to make sure they keep up on the boards. They've done a decent job at this point, but again, they can't panic at this point. They've been down by 19. They know what it feels like. So really, 19 compared to 12, they probably feel pretty good about themselves here.
Well, if they can work that deficit down to single digits come the time the fourth quarter comes around, then they should be feeling very comfortable at still having a chance at this game. It's going to be the Western Mustangs who start with the ball here. They're going to be going left to right now on, I guess, your computer screen at home, since we're doing this on a live stream on YouTube. It's going to be the same starting 5 for the Western Mustangs of Horst, Johnson, LeBlanc, Kuperman, and Taminga in the middle. And also the same starting 5 for the Brock Badgers in Toddy, Morris, Croce, Kaltos, and Kristen Gallant, as Horst brings the ball up to start the second half, gets the screen from Kuperman. It's over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc, another little floater. This one goes out. Croce with the rebound over to Toddy.
LeBlanc had a good shot at that, too. A little bit lack of respect on that floater. She's going to kill him if they give her that opportunity more often.
It's now Gallant. Gets a screen from Kaltos there. She works it into the corner. She's guarded by LeBlanc. It's back out to Croce. Croce over to Morris. She dribbles left, fakes Emma Johnson. A running back carry to the basket, and she's able to put it up for 2.
And Johnson just over pursued on that play, and by the time she goes to challenge that shot, panicking, it's a simple blow-by in the first basket of the third quarter.
LeBlanc has it after a hard screen by Kuperman. It's into Taminga in the post. She's double-teamed. She throws it up. It's no good. It's short, but Taminga keeps battling for the ball. But it's rebounded by Gallant, and I think there's going to be a foul on Morgan Taminga.
So Taminga, not a smart decision, has a double in the post, doesn't keep her head up on a swivel. gets doubled, turns the ball over after a hard shot, and then again, trying to fight for that rebound, an inadvertent bump at the end, they're going to call that. It's a ticky-tacky one. You don't like that if you're Nate McKibben.
No foul trouble really for anyone. No one over one personal foul in the game as Tominga picks up her first and the first foul of the second half. As Galen tried to dump it off in the post to Croce, it was at her feet. She was able to pick it up. Finds Toddy in the paint. She's guarded by Horst. It's back out now to Morris. Back now to Toddy. Horst playing great D, but she's able to work her way around in a nice little running bank shot off the right foot.
And that's a gamer in Melissa Toddy. The spin move, the old B button on PlayStation, or is it Xbox? I don't know. The circle B button works to perfection.
Maddie Horst's floater's long, and it's no good, and it's rebounded by the Badgers, and Toddy will bring it back up the floor now.
Again, 2 consecutive possessions, 2-4 shot this time by the veteran Horst.
A hard screen by Croce, and Toddy with her second field goal in a row.
Don't blink so fast. 40-34, 8:24 left to go here in the third quarter.
Western Mustangs coming a bit slow out of the gate.
6-0 run by the visitors.
Coran has it now, gives it over to Leblanc. She's been the leader for the Mustangs today. Can she do something early? It's now over to Emma Johnson. Finds LeBlanc. LeBlanc's triple. No good off the front rim. Emma Johnson fighting for the rebound, but taken by Morris. And Toddy's going to bring up the ball now.
And McKibben looking up at the score clock there as he's got substitution. Lawrence coming onto the floor in the next opportunity.
It's Keltos now trying to dump it off, and it's stolen by Coran. That turnover the Mustangs needed. And now it's over to Maddie Horst, bringing it over to the timeline. She's going to get a screen by Coran, but she actually gets shoved there by Gallant. Horst 3, no good. Rebound Tominga. Tominga has the ball, and it's going to be a jump ball in the possession arrow right now in the Brock Badgers' favor. So it'll be Badgers basketball as Jenna Lawrence is going to come in for a quick sub with 7:36 remaining in the first quarter in for Tominga.
If you didn't learn in the first half, I'm not sure if you're going to learn later on. You rebound that ball, your hands have to be up with that ball, get rid of it. Again, Lawrence, good rebound there. Again, brings the ball low, opportunity lost, and now the Badgers can go on an 8-0 run here.
It's now Keltos who gives it over to Galen, gets the screen from Keltos. Galen back to Morris. Morris driving left, tries to spin right. A little scoop shot, no good, but wow. It's going to be an offensive foul there as Keltos pulls down Julia Coran. That's going to be Keltos' first personal foul, so still no one with more than one personal foul in the game on either side of the ball. The refs letting them play in this one.
Coran, the inside position on the foul there on the rebound. Again, a soft rebound attempt, but again, inside position gets the call.
Jenna Lawrence now has it. It's over to Emma Johnson. Back over to LeBlanc in the corner. Skips it over to Lawrence. Lawrence was in that corner she liked, but chose not to take the shot. Emma Johnson in the middle to Coran. LeBlanc has it. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Horst with the shot. No good. Coran, nice rebound there. Her 4th offensive rebound and a 5th offensive rebound. And she puts it in for 2.
And all starts with the passing around the world. Coran has an opportunity for not 1, but 2 second chance opportunities. You can't do that if you're Mike Rowell.
It's Morris in the corner. She's driving right. Almost found a hole, but gives it out to Croce. Croce now screens for Galen. Galen with the ball at the top. Another screen from Croce. Croce rolls. A nice feed there, but blocked off the glass by Elizabeth LeBlanc. Her 2nd block of the game. Oh, what a block there from Elizabeth LeBlanc.
A foul, though, on the floor in the second chance opportunity in that situation. The Badgers will go to the line. So you see LeBlanc again, the defensive player of the year for the Carleton Ravens. Just 2 seasons ago, comes up big once again as the band playing a couple, gamemanship, causes the first free throw to be missed. 6:27 to go in the third quarter. 8-point lead, 42-34, your Mustangs lead.
Gallant missing the first shot. She's a 70% free throw shooter, makes the second. It's 42-35 Mustangs, 6:26 remaining third quarter as Maddie Horst brings the ball up for the Mustangs, gives it over to LeBlanc. LeBlanc looking like Kawhi Leonard tonight with her cornrows. Maddie Horst now has it in the corner. Jenna Lawrence, another 3. She hit her first of the season earlier. That one's no good as Toddy brings the ball up for the Badgers. It's Keltos now, passes it in to Galen, but Galen short on the layup. And it's LeBlanc now dribbling it up, driving right. Foul there before the shot. It's going to be on the ground. That foul's going to be on Jessica Morris.
Again, LeBlanc just momentum, sees the dribble momentum, slows it down for a second, then change of pace on Morris quickly to drive baseline. Has no choice but to push. You saw the Badgers in the first half there, probably left between 12 and 16 points on the board because of missed open opportunities, another 2 there.
Fisher back in the game, inbounds it to Horst. Now Fisher's getting double teamed in the post. She's driving baseline. A questionable decision in the double team, and Nate McKibben is furious about that. He says you got to pass that ball out there.
Well, she knew that was coming. As soon as she got the ball in that post, they crept right over towards her. And again, it's simplicity. It's double teams. Get that ball out of your hands, move it around the world.
Toddy to Keltos, now in the corner to Morris. Morris gets a screen from Keltos, works it back to Keltos. Keltos trying to work in the post over Brett Fisher. 3-foot hook, no good. Johnson now with the ball. Looking for an option, gets a screen from Fisher. Now it's over to LeBlanc. Now she's guarded by Galen. She works her way to the top, and now Fisher and Lawrence coming up for a double screen. No, it's just going to be Lawrence. Oh, I'm not sure if Galen actually went over the screen there. I'm not sure if there was a trip there.
There's going to be a timeout on the floor as Nate McKibben's calling one with 5:18 left to go here in the third quarter. Your Mustangs up 42-35. What happens on that set there, partner, is the screen is set on the far left side, high wing in that situation. She does get around the screen, I believe, without any formal contact. The one thing against LeBlanc is she tries to use that momentum and space to her advantage. The thing that goes against her in that situation, that slight dip of the left elbow as she's driving with her right hand, hence the offensive foul in that situation. Again, you're down by 12 to begin this third quarter. It's down to 7. It's single digits. You're Mike Rao. You can't ask for a better start to this third quarter. And so far, I mean, the Mustangs haven't got big zilch on the scoreboard at this point. I mean, 2 points to account for it, but they're outscored 9-2 at this point. And this is where the championship rounds start coming in. This third quarter, that transition quarter coming on the break, you feel good, you feel great, you're up 12. Well, don't forget, this team's been down by 19 before, and they probably have, once again, the player of the year in this situation. So you got to keep your head on a swivel, you got to be active, you got to not rest on your laurels of that first half.
Greg, this is also the part of the game where coaching adjustments become so important. And I think Mike Rao has, switched more to a man-based system instead of running in that 2-3 or 3-2 zone. And that's been stifling the Western Mustangs, who have probably been game planning for this zone.
And the zone is something they were able to exploit early and often. I know when you're in, a running gun offense, you can't set into anything too frequently, but again, ball back on the court. We'll see what the Badgers can do down by 7.
It's Gallant now in the corner, works it down. That's Jenica Pilling who's back into the game. She drives left, tries a little dream shake, doesn't work. Ball is kicked out by Jenna Lawrence. It's going to remain Brock Badgers basketball. Shot clock at 10, 5:04 left to go in the third quarter here. It's a 7-point lead for the Mustangs.
So Sophia Croce in the post there, 5'10" out of Oakville, Ontario's got to assert her will more than just being the block in the post.
That's a 3 from Keltos, and it goes.
That is just sweet sound of nothing on that one. And guess what? The Badgers badgering their way back into this game, now down by 4 with under 5 to go.
Horst now dribbling left with it. It's now back to Lawrence, and she gives it up to Horst. Gets the screen there from Lawrence. Horst doing some nice dribble moves, passes it out there to Johnson. This is some great defense right now being played by the Badgers, but LeBlanc has an open 3, and it goes down. Elizabeth LeBlanc, the steady leader of the ship tonight for the Western Mustangs.
And I see one of the Brock Badger fathers giving out some cuss words I can't repeat on air. He knew. Everyone said, oh no, you left LeBlanc open. Guess what? She kills him, lead back up to 7.
It's now Keltos there who has a skip pass there. Emma Johnson jumps at the pump fake there.
I love that no call. Morris forces it up even though Johnson is trailing on the play there. Excellent verticality by Lawrence on that one. And I mean, that's just good basketball. No call either way. Let the ball do the talking. So the Badgers will have it underneath the Mustangs net with 5 on the shot clock.
Short clock situation. Ball inbounded right to Toddy. 3 seconds left. Toddy's going to have to heave one up for 3.
Wow.
And it goes through.
Wow, Melissa Toddy gets that right on the inbound area. Circles back out to the right wing. Nothing but net. Response for the great shot by LeBlanc. Wow, 45-41.
Well, Melissa Toddy, she's 5th in the OUA in 3-pointers made as the ball now goes over to Lawrence. Johnson swings it over to Horst.
Don't lose LeBlanc on that backside.
Horst tried to respond, but it's no good, and Toddy takes the rebound away from Brett Fisher. Toddy working up the floor now, finds Keltos. Keltos driving left, and that's going to be a foul on the floor there on Brett Fisher. That's going to be the 4th team foul on the Western Mustangs, so next foul will put them in the bonus as Ariane Samur and Julia Karan will be checking back into the game for Fisher and Emma Johnson.
Morris checks into the game for Kristen Gallant, and this is where that high-strung man-to-man defense comes against you. Fisher is pursuing her man way out beyond the three-point line in that situation. Why? She's a big. She's going to drive. Stay at home in that situation.
But you got to remember, Keltos, top 15 three-point percentage in the OUA. Great defense there from Maddie Horse. She gets the rebound there on a missed Toddy shot. Luckily, it dribbles under the hand of Keltos, but it was taken away there, and Keltos gives the ball to Melissa Toddy, who had an open. She takes the step back, and she gets the shooter's touch. I'll tell you something, Melissa Toddy right now is as hot as a blowtorch, single-handedly bringing the Brock Badgers back into this game.
This kick in play, stops on a dime, pull-up jumper, gets Horse, one of the best defenders, shaking on her legs as Coran with the offensive rebound Badgers.
It's a physical game here tonight, and nothing's getting called.
45-43, 2:50 to go here in the third quarter. Partner, what a tilt in semifinal action.
It's Morris now, gives it over to Pilling. Pilling in the middle to Toddy. A block there by Maddie Horse. Back out to Pilling, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pilling steps through with the left, no good, but gets her own rebound. Toddy now with the ball, driving left, sees Croce, ball in, and it's a tie game at 45.
Samir doesn't box out on that play, secondary chance. You got Toddy, the gamer, calling up for a double. Nice little bounce pass between defenders. We're not at 45. Remember, they're down by 12 to begin this third quarter, 12. And now they've erased it with a huge run of their own.
Quarter scoring 17-5 for the Brock Badgers as it's stolen by Jessica Morris. And she lays it in and one!
There's the momentum killer right there. Julia Coran trailing on the play. Needless foul. Cut your losses, partner. You know it's a game of runs. You know there's momentum as the band tries to get back into it. No reason for Coran to foul on that opportunity. Morris was in a clear pass situation. Not only do they get the basket to take the lead, as Nate McKibben talking to Samir on that box out on the sidelines here, now they have a chance to extend it to three. So 2:03 left to go here in the third quarter. Complete reversal of fortunes.
Morris, the and one is good, converts the three-point play. Now the Badgers are in the bonus, as LeBlanc will bring the ball up the floor for the Western Mustangs. This Brock Badgers defense is really starting to settle in here. Usually top 5 in opponents' field goal percentage. Now Johnson has it at the top. Aggressive defense from Morris and a trap coming from Toddy. She works it down low, trying to find an option. It's LeBlanc. LeBlanc for three. No good. Rebound there by Coran. Coran swatted away there by Sam Kaltos.
And a stare down, partner, at the end of that to say, hey, you might got the upper hand earlier. Not now, partner.
I'll tell you, that was a mean mug on the face of Sam Kaltos as the ball is getting inbounded with 13 left on the shot clock, and it's Julia Coran with the ball here. Fakes out Kaltos, and now she's going to go to the line. A much-needed stoppage to slow the game down here. What's been an all-Brock Badgers second half.
Well, you know what's interesting on this one, as a substitution coming from Mike Rao on this opportunity, as Coran will head to the line. Kaltos gets the block initially, so a second chance opportunity for the Mustangs via the inbound. What's she do? Coran gets that ball immediately as Nate McKibben drew it up, and instead of staying low in her set, stands tall and idle as Coran makes the first. You can't settle after one great defensive play, and Coran makes her pay the veteran. She goes to the line for two, trying to cut the lead to one.
Julia Coran, a 62% free throw shooter on the year, hits both, and it's going to be a timeout called. I believe it's going to be charged to the
substitution.
It's a substitution,
so
my
Sophia
mistake.
Croce checking back into the game. So 1:34 left to go here in the third quarter and counting. 48-47, the Badgers lead.
A deep three from Kaltos, in and out. Boy, that would have sunk a dagger into the heart of the Western Mustangs as Emma Johnson now brings the ball up. Finds LeBlanc on the baseline. She's in the corner now. Coran gives her the screen, gets the switch. Now Maddie Horse has it. Finds LeBlanc in the corner. Another three, and it's good! Elizabeth LeBlanc hits, I believe, is her fourth triple of the game.
Sophia Croce, just lazy matchup 2-3 zone defense there. You can't let someone who's been hot all evening shoot the ball. 2-point lead restored for the Stangs.
Elizabeth LeBlanc thinking, well, I've got the cornrows. I might as well play like Kawhi tonight. Usually a 21% three-point shooter. Tonight she's killing it, and she swats another shot back. Elizabeth LeBlanc doing it on both ends of the floor for the Western Mustangs as she records her third block of the game.
4 on the shot clock off the inbound here. Croce gets it on both ends of the court. The open three and the stuffing.
A missed layup there from Toddy. They had to stop her there as now Horst has it for the Western Mustangs. Mustangs up 2. Kuperman with the ball now behind the back dribble. She's around the elbow. Out to Horst now, 30 seconds left. They're not going to go 2 for, oh, they are going to go 2 for 1 here. Horst, no good, long rebound, rebounded by Croce, 24 seconds remaining.
About half a second difference, so this will be the last possession of the third quarter.
It's now Gallant over to Croce, out to Morris. Her triple is good, so they respond. 51 to 50. 5 seconds left. Maddie Horst has the ball, pulling up from deep. No good. Rebound Lord. She throws it up, and it's no good. And the Brock Badgers will go into the fourth quarter with a 1-point lead after an amazing 23-10 quarter in favor of the Brock Badgers.
You talk about championship pedigree and a puncher in the face. So what happens? The Mustangs leading the #1 team in terms of the top team in the country last year, the national champions. And now guess what? They got punched in the mouth again here in the third quarter. As you mentioned, partner, a huge run by the visitors, making it sound like the Bot Davis gym instead of Alumni Hall. But this is where it comes down to coaching adjustments. Who wants a more fundamental basketball? We have a brand new board game. Don't worry about the Badgers being up by 51-50 at this point. If you're the head coach, Nate McKibben, for the Lady Mustangs, you say, guess what? We play our game, we run freely. No one expected us to be here at this point, even though we had the league's best record after missing the playoffs last year. It's all gravy. Stay relaxed. Stay on what you've worked on all year. That's what won them the quarterfinal matchup. You can do it one more time.
The score, the story, my mistake, after the third quarter, now 3 Brock Badgers players in double digits. That's Sam Keltos with 12. Jessica Morris now has 16. And Melissa Toddy, with that big start to the third quarter, basically went on a 7-0 run herself, now with 13 points in the game. And they've brought up their shooting percentage from about 34% in the first half up to 40% for the game. Meanwhile, the Western Mustangs shooting only 18% from the field in that third quarter.
Badgers shoot 50% from the field in that third quarter. This is my biggest concern. Leblanc and Kuperman combining right now for 34 of the team's 50. Horst is 1 of 14 from the field, so your big three-headed monster for this year for the Lady Mustangs, 14 of 38 from the field. Who's going to step up in this fourth quarter? We got 10 minutes to go to see who goes to the Critelli Cup.
Leblanc now has the ball, hands it off to Horst. Let's see what the Mustangs can do on this first possession. And it's Leblanc. She gets the ball stripped away from her in kind of an awkward circumstance, and it's Toddy with the ball now. Toddy looking for an option, gives it over to Gallant. Kuperman keeping an eye on Keltos in the corner. Gallant now has it in the corner, gets the screen there from Keltos, had the option to shoot the 3, didn't use it. Keltos, little move in the paint, finds Croce underneath. Oh, not sure there, but Lawrence seemed to be pretty vertical, and in a game where they've been letting them play, the first controversial call of the game comes around.
Well, Croce had her hands on that ball correctly to begin with. She would have had an easy layup there in that opportunity, but again, smart play by Keltos. She sees the double coming, waits till the last second to drop that ball underneath to Croce as the ball don't lie, and the first shot is missed on that way. So as one of the fans correctly yelling behind us, how long in the key? Well, her memory serves her well. She got payback on that one. Second one is up, and that is no good, so 1-point lead.
Rebounded by Lawrence. Horst now has the ball. Still remains a 1-point game, 9:24 remaining in the fourth quarter of this semifinal game. The winner goes to the Critelli Cup. Kuperman over to Leblanc, into the corner. That's Jenna Lawrence. Her three-pointer is good, and Jenna Lawrence hits her second three-pointer of the season, both in the same game.
2 of 3 now, up to double digits. That's 12 points, third score in double digits for the Lady Mustangs.
It's now Gallant who's guarded by Leblanc. Leblanc, tight defense, and Horst pokes the ball away from Toddy, but Toddy retains possession, gets the screen there from Keltos. Toddy driving left, finds Keltos. Keltos, elbow jumper, smooth, and that's the pick and roll. You gotta be careful.
Pick and pop, to be exact, in that one, partner. Keltos just stands by the free throw line. She's a great three-point shooter. She says this is the layup. Offensive foul. Kuperman with the illegal screen. Momentum back to the Badgers, 53-52. As Jenna Lawrence, or as Brett Fisher's going to check back in. Lawrence is going to check out for Nate McKibben.
Good minutes tonight from all the Western bigs, but it's been Jenna Lawrence who's been getting primarily most of those minutes tonight. But you got to think in these final moments, the coaches are just going to go with their go-to lineup with 8 minutes left to go in this game.
Well, and even bigger than this Quintali Cup, there's a berth potentially in the national championships on the line. 2 automatically because Mac won last year as the layup made by Croce.
Too
Great
easy of a play there for Croce as it's now a 3-point lead for the Brock Badgers. Western Mustangs starting to fall apart.
You win this game, you're off to Ottawa in 2 weeks' time.
Horst, the step back 3, no good. Maybe not the best quality shot in a close game like this one as Toddy brings the ball up for the Badgers.
This is dangerous. She's matched up with Emma Johnson. I don't like this. So missed opportunity. Croce rebound off the miss by Keltos. Toddy was thinking about getting the ball on the right wing.
It's going to be Morris now driving in, and they're going to call a foul there. And it's going to be 2 shots, so Brock Badgers getting all the calls they need here. It's going to be a blocking foul.
So Tominga's going to come back into the game for Fisher. So for Fisher with a little frustration coming out. Nate McKibben keeping the spirits up. 7:56 left to go here in the fourth quarter. 3-point lead for the Badgers, looking to add 2 more.
Morris, a 71% free throw shooter on the year. She hits the first. She's 2 for 2 in the game now. 56-52 Mustangs, 7:56 left in the fourth quarter.
A little tuba from the band and the guitar here. A little gamesmanship. Doesn't go. Gets both to go, lead to 5.
5-point game. What can the Western Mustangs do now to get back into this game? The screen there from Karan. Horst over to Leblanc. Leblanc driving that little floater move she likes so much, and it goes down 57-54.
If you know she's going to do that, she's up to 21, the game's leading score. Why allow that dribble penetration? Keep her high. Let someone else beat you.
It's now Morris in the corner. Gives it off to Toddy. Toddy dribbling left. It's now going to be Galan in the 3 is no good. Rebounded by Tominga. It's a tie-up. Whew.
Croce. Look at that hustle on that one, and she wins the possession there on that one. So Croce had it on Tominga has the board. Croce says, give that ball to me. She falls to the floor. They get a fresh shot clock reset at 14. That is championship pedigree right there.
Croce at the top to Keltos. Keltos, you just never know what she's going to do. She's great in all areas on the offensive end. It's Gallant now with the ball. Looking for an option, driving left, and it's Leblanc, and Leblanc swaps it for another one!
It's not anything special that she's doing right now. LeBlanc is just fundamentally riding her out, knowing that extension is going to come from the Badgers. 3 on the shot clock on the inbound. LeBlanc, brilliant ball here.
Croce working the hook in, no good. Rebound to Minga, and they're fighting, but it's going to be an offensive loose ball foul on the Brock Badgers. So a much-needed stop there for the Western Mustangs, and it's a 3-point, and it remains a 3-point game.
So Croce a little greedy with the hand in the cookie jar there. Tried to get another chance in terms of grab as it's a timeout on the floor by Mike Rao with his team leading 57-54. Tried to go for it in that situation again. Bringing the ball down after a rebound. I'm not sure how many times this is going to come into play in the last couple of minutes here, but if you're Nate McKibben in his squad, you're only down 3. Keep it calm. LeBlanc is killing the Badgers right now. If you're Mike Rao, you say, let someone besides LeBlanc beat you on that floater. She has been fairly consistent with the 3 ball at this point in terms of throughout the contest. She's 2 of 2. Or sorry, my apologies, 3 of 8 from the field. I'd rather her shoot from the outside, let someone else beat me at this point. The Mustangs 6 of 22 from the land beyond compared to 6 of 14 for the Badgers. You talk about inside paint, big girl basketball action. You see Mike Rao kind of reverting to those high school roots you've seen for the last 35 years he's been coaching Notre Dame. He knows simplicity and point paints come at a premium. If you're not shooting the ball well from the outside, force it inside. It opens up the outside. And so far, I mean, his team erased a 12-point lead heading into the third quarter. They had the lead going into the fourth, and they are sitting pretty here in a packed house as more start filing in for the men's doubleheader coming up at 8 p.m. here on Radio Western.
What the Mustangs need right now that's out of the control is the Mustangs faithful seem a little down on themselves. There are some fans out of their seats getting excited. However, it's the Brock Badgers faithful right now that have traveled all the way from Niagara.
I hate to say it, partner. I feel like I'm at a Leafs game right now with this home attendance.
Horst gives it over to Karan now. Karan decides to take it, no good. The hesitation forced the miss as Toddy has the ball now for the Brock Badgers. 6:55 left in the fourth quarter.
Open opportunity, can't question that if you're Karan.
It's now Morris with the ball into Croce. Croce stolen by Karan on the pass to Keltos there.
Croce
4
high,
on 5.
Croce high, low. Karan reads it beautifully, gets inside body position and a foul on the floor on the Badgers' horse on the pick and roll with Kuperman.
It's going to be a foul on Jenica Pilling there. Maddie Horse doing a great job to use her body to force the foul there. 2 team fouls on the Brock Badgers, 3 team fouls on the Western Mustangs.
Kuperman gives up a lot of weight to these ladies, but great positioning on that play. Now the Mustangs have an opportunity to tie this game 1 possession.
Leblanc has the ball at the top. Now over to Taminga. Taminga hands it back to Leblanc. Leblanc working her way in, but Toddy strips it away. Taminga still has it. Little floater move, and it just rattles in. A soft bounce off the rim helps Taminga cut the lead down to 1.
The ball fumbled around. You got to be lucky to be good to be lucky. Nate McKibben again. You don't draw it up that way, but nonetheless, 1-point lead, 6:10 left to go here in the 4th quarter.
It's now Morris dribbling left, spin dribble, works her way into the paint. It's now Croce at the top, gives it over to Toddy. LeBlanc now covering Toddy as they need stops in this pivotal moment of the game. A hook shot there. It was as the shot clock was expiring, and the offensive rebound goes to Croce. And it's 59-56.
Questionable if she even hit the rim on that second chance opportunity. Then it might have got a beneficiary of a no call in that way. Now they have the 3-point lead. Here comes the screen.
It's Maddie Horse with the ball at the top. The 3 to tie the game, no good. Kuperman trying to work her way around, and it's rebounded there by Sam Keltos, and Toddy has the ball now.
Keltos inside position. Kuperman half-heartedly went for it. Toddy and the Badgers looking to, they smell blood. Can they finish the home side here?
It's Keltos in the paint now, guarded by Kuperman. Oh, hard screen there as Morris works her way in. No good. Rebound Kuperman. Kuperman dribbling the ball up the floor. She's going to get caught between 2 defenders here looking for an option, and it's going to be a foul, and that's the 3rd team foul on the Brock Badgers, and it's going to go against Jessica Morris, and that's going to be her 3rd personal foul of the game. As Jenna Lawrence is going to check back in for Taminga. Jenna Lawrence being the best center for the Western Mustangs in this game today. Emma Johnson with her taped up left hand is going to inbound the ball on the near sideline.
I don't like these calls that we're seeing both sides where the players are kind of initiating it from the offensive and unnecessarily getting the benefit of the call.
Horse dribbling.
Wow.
Oh, wow, what defense there.
Keltos with the 2-handed volleyball block here on Maddie Horse. And by the way, your Lady Mustangs will be playing host to a semifinal game themselves, I believe, this Saturday afternoon at Alumni Hall.
It's Kuperman working her way, and she's going to go to the line for 2 here. The shot was nowhere close, but she's going to the line for 2 points here.
So the second time this has happened and foul on Keltos on the play, and Kuperman gets her both times. Keltos, both times, amazing blocks, great defensive play. I don't know if she's just not got the energizing bunny option in her, but again, lagging defensively on that second chance. And again, Kuperman goes back to the line. You can see 4 points attributed potentially with the Kuperman make here due to a lack of awareness and physicality from Keltos.
Kuperman no good on the second. It's tipped by Croce, though, doesn't go out of bounds, though.
So 2-point lead, under 5 to go here.
Mustangs now in the bonus for every subsequent foul call for the rest of the game as Toddy brings the ball up. And it's going to be Morris driving left, trying to work it, and it's swatted away, but it's going to be called a foul on Emma Johnson. Looked like all ball from our angle, but it seems they're going to call it a push.
Yeah, it's going to be a push at the end of the play there in terms of the positioning. I'm not sure if that's a makeup call in that situation. The one thing that is going for Nate McKibben in the squad is that you could throw 2 different looks at Melissa Toddy. You could put LeBlanc, the higher defender, on her in this situation as the first free throw is made, or you could throw Maddie Horse, all 5'7" and 5th year eligibility in her. So 2 different looks. One of those 2 have to stay on Toddy, though.
Second free throw, no good, so it's still a 3-point, 1-possession game. As the Mustangs bring the ball up, it's Maddie Horse. She takes the screen there for Kuperman. LeBlanc now has the ball into the corner. That's Emma Johnson. Bounces no good, but Kuperman has it. It's going to be an offensive loose ball foul, I think it is. No, they're calling for 2 shots. Yeah, they're calling a foul on Jenna Lawrence here. The other 2 officials were signaling that it was a foul on the defense.
So it's a hook around on that play in that situation. Because it's offensive, it's going to be advanced in this situation because the ball is neutral on the rebound when the ball goes up in the air. No one has clear position. So Keltos heads to the line for 2 as she misses the first.
Misses the first of 2. Keltos, though, an 85% free throw shooter on the year, so you just got to think if you're the Western Mustangs, all you can think is ball don't lie.
Second is going to go in. Missed free throws and open layups. If you lose this game, if you're Mike Rao, you're going to be kicking yourself.
Maddie Horse bringing the ball up the far side, takes the screen from Kuperman, crosses over, contested mid-range jump shot.
Wow.
Bounces in. gets the shooter touch, and Maddie Horst just keeps shooting with that confidence, even though she has not had a very good game offensively.
5 years at Alumni Hall, you know the angles to get that basket works on that one.
Gallant over to Croce, and Croce loses the ball.
Croce had her eyes on her teammate cutting into the lane, trying to go for the touch pass in that situation. Just like a receiver that loses sight of the ball when he has his head turned around looking upfield. Same situation there. Mustangs looking to tie or take the lead 61-59, 4 minutes to go.
Leblanc has the ball, open three, Leblanc, no good. Rebound though, and it's taken by Curran. Curran still with the ball, tries to get up with it. Jenna Lawrence gets the offensive rebound. Jump ball, and it's going to remain Western basketball with 14 seconds on the shot clock. A 2-point game, 3 minutes, 50 seconds left with a trip to the Critelli Cup final on the line.
At Alumni Hall right now, LeBlanc had no one within 10 feet of her on that one. Hesitation again, not sure whether to take it. Goes in and out again. Second chance opportunity though here on this possession. 8 on the shot clock.
Horst with the ball, skips it over to Johnson. Johnson with the spin dribble, losing control. Curran late shot clock situation, banks it no good. LeBlanc now with the ball. Curran open three, it's good! Julia Curran with a three gives the Western Mustangs a 1-point lead. 3:25 left to go for a fourth quarter.
Defensive player of the year, averages 7 rebounds a game. Gives an offensive one there. Second chance opportunities killing Mike Rao. The Badgers now down by 1.
It's Gallant over to Keltos. Keltos, little mid-range jumper, and it's clean.
Keltos just inside, outside, the land beyond. Partner, we got a ball game. 3 minutes to go. 1-point lead Badgers. Critelli Cup berth on the line.
LeBlanc now has it into Curran. Curran, little fade, no good. Keltos though, and now Croce throws it and saves it. Nice save there, gets it to Morris, and now Toddy brings it up for the Badgers. Toddy, with that speed, works it in, and she puts it in.
Toddy got LeBlanc thinking about that crossover there in that situation. Went right, went left, got inside position. LeBlanc tries to time the block. A little scoop shot by Toddy. That's why she's the player of the year.
LeBlanc now has the ball, works it in for that floater, no good. LeBlanc fighting for that rebound on Keltos. Doesn't get it though, and Keltos retains possession as we are almost entering the final 2 minutes of this fourth quarter.
Toddy's got the ball, her and LeBlanc. We saw defense win Nate McKibben in his last contest against the defending national champions. What do they have here?
It's going to be Gallant. Gallant gets Emma Johnson to jump, and Croce misses the layup. And Croce is down, and it's going to be a 4-on-5 for the Western Mustangs.
Looks like a foul there. They got to capitalize right now.
Johnson taking it in, and it's blocked there. Oh, but it's still in play. It stayed in play, and no one went for the ball. Poor hustle there by both sides, and the Badgers take the rebound. 1:42 left, and it's a 3-point game.
Melissa Toddy calling for the high screen from Sophia Croce on the block. Let's see how she uses it.
It's going to be Gallant dribbling left now with Emma Johnson there. Now Toddy gets the ball back. A very hard screen there, and a very
looks like Morris gets
there.
away with a push-off. Second chance opportunity on the...
Gallant now has the ball. 1:17 left to go, 6 on the shot clock. Gallant over to Croce. Croce, her three, banks it in!
The bank, though close most places, is open here, and it sounds like Bob Davis Gymnasium is as the Badger faithful on their feet. Banked, 3 ball in. Sophia Croce, they're going to mark it as a 2 on the court, so it's going to be a 67-62 lead for the Badgers. That play right there, again, second chance opportunities. Questionable no call on the push-off by Morris on the rebound. Nonetheless, a pick and pop. I'm thinking, you got to do something, Gallant. You can't pick up your dribble right by the free throw line there. Hand down, man down. Sophia Croce, potentially with the knockout punch here. We got a lot of time left. But again, all the momentum in favor of the Badgers. And you saw this on Saturday afternoon. The Mustangs hanging on to dear life, creeping back into the game. And then big girl basketball from Maddie Horst and LeBlanc. Do they have another run in them here with the home crowd behind them?
Now, Greg, you got about a minute left in the game. Do you go for the quick 2, or are you going to try and work it down to a 2-point game here with a potential 3-point attempt?
No, I go 2. I'd say that inside penetration, if it opens up the 3-ball, allow it to open the 3-ball. But you see LeBlanc, she's had so many open opportunities so far with 1:11 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Just dribble penetrate. You have LeBlanc, you have Horst, You have two players that can dribble drive in this situation. You got Coran underneath on the slip in. 111, plenty of time. But you best know if they miss this shot, if you're the Badgers, you better be boxing out in this situation.
Mustangs crowd getting back into it as there's a minute 11 remaining in the fourth quarter. 67-62 Badgers as Maddie Horst takes the inbound. Maddie Horst driving left, finds Leblanc in the corner. Her three-pointer, bang! A three-pointer from Leblanc, and she comes up clutch. It's a two-point game.
Pocket left corner, Nate McKibben slamming on the scores table, asking for a timeout, pending what happens on this possession. Screen from Croce on Taddy.
It's now
Keltos has it, bowling around Coran, fadeaway jumper right hand.
Keltos, no
Short.
good rebound. Emma Johnson fighting off, and that's a foul. And Emma Johnson is gonna go to the line here for two shots and potentially tying up the ball game with 46 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter.
And Taddy on the case of Keltos in this situation. Again, 3 miscues now from Keltos, results in 3 unjustified trips to the line for the Mustangs. They have a chance to tie it here. You miss the shot, you don't have any shot at the rebound as the first shot is missed. So they win it on that one there. But again, you've cut the lead down unnecessarily. Big possession here, either side. Second free throw coming from Emma Johnson, who had the key steal in the upset win of the Marauders.
Johnson misses both free throws, only a 46% free throw shooter. 2 costly misses, but the Mustangs can still have a chance if they get a stop here.
It's a mismatch. You have Taddy, you have Johnson. If I'm Taddy, I win this battle. Taddy and Kelto versus Coran and Johnson with LeBlanc trying to help.
That's now Gallant driving baseline back out to Toddy. Toddy step back 3. It's good!
Timeout is called late by the scores table, and that's what you didn't want happening. Nate McKibben a little irate in that situation, so let me walk you through this, folks, for you that are not here right now watching this in person. What happens? Direct mismatch, as I just called it there. You have Toddy and Kelto versus Coran and Johnson. That's a mismatch in terms of talent all across the board. What happens? They're moving right to left. So Toddy's dribbling. That forces LeBlanc on the pocket left corner there. Slip up just a little bit in that situation. What's Toddy do? Good recognition. Zips it into the pocket right corner. Drives baseline. That draws LeBlanc back down. Now that drives Coran back down for that help defense baseline. Picks up the dribble. Kicks it out to Toddy again. Toddy, such a gamer. Gets her defender on her feet. The step back. Almost like a James Harden-like 3. You wonder why she's the player of the year. You wonder why when I'm talking to Mike Rao, how good does that feel that you have that in your back pocket in that situation? He says, you know what, this is why this kid's going to succeed in life. She has that it factor. She has that tenacity factor. And guess what? They have a 4-point lead, 69-65. Storming back from a 12-point deficit to begin the second half. And now they are moments away from booking a trip to Critelli Cup final. It's all due to the tenacity of Melissa Toddy. These Badgers, 2 seconds to go.
So they are going to call the Toddy shot a 2. Western Mustangs need a bucket here. 21.6 seconds left. They got to keep their hopes alive as the ball is inbounded to Maddie Horst. They need to do something quick. Desperation shot from Horst. No good. Rebounded by, I can't see who that is. That's Gallant. And it's stolen away by Coran. LeBlanc with the ball. She puts it up. No good. And it's rebounded by Gallant. And that should just about do it. But Coran takes the ball back, and it's taken by Toddy.
And Toddy looks up on the score clock in this situation. Can't call a timeout. Foul on the floor. 1.8 left to go. And partner, I hate to say it, the Mustangs are going to let one slip away from them. This dream season of missing the playoff to going to Critelli Cup final at home. It's over. The Badgers advance. Utter shock and disbelief, partner. Utter shock and disbelief. The Brock Badgers upset the Western Mustangs. I mean, partner, it's indescribable what happened here.
And what was such a great story for the Western Mustangs this year ends in a bitter, and their Mustang careers, a bitter ending for Maddie Horst, Elizabeth LeBlanc, Julia Coran, all crucial pieces of this Western Mustangs team. And you know, now you just got to look forward to next year. What's Nate McKibben going to do without 3 of his most important veterans?
It's shocking, partner. I mean, we looked at each other when that happened. They're kind of just allowing the air to take us through those couple seconds in shock of what happened. I mean, we thought that, you know, it was a dream season for these Lady Mustangs. Nate McKibben coming over from Calgary and just doing his thing and they have the #1 seed in the OUA. They have home court advantage. They had their eyes on the prize Saturday afternoon, a Critelli Cup home berth here at Alumni Hall. The faithful come up, but they survive a scare this past Saturday versus the McMaster Marauders. They get a defensive stop to win them the game. They beat out the national champions. They get by the slither of their chinny chin chins, and then you come back here, you have a 12-point lead. You think, oh my goodness, this could happen. Western could be hosting a Critelli Cup final. And Melissa Taddy says, I'm the player of the year for a reason. We're coming back. We're taking this, and we're taking the Critelli Cup home final to the St. Catharines Bob Davis Gymnasium.
And the Western Mustangs women's team end off what was a historic season. And even though they didn't get all the way, it was still a hell of a year for rookie head coach Nate McKibben. Going 19-3 is impressive enough, but doing it in your first season as a head coach, the Western Mustangs women's basketball program has a very bright future with this man at the helm.
Well, and it's who do you lean on going forward, as you just mentioned there. Maddie Horse, 5 years, comes back from ACL injury, does her thing, comes back, leads the team in scoring. You can't replace that effort, that knowledge on the defensive end, that leadership. Elizabeth LeBlanc wasn't even supposed to play this year. And then Nate McKibben goes, hey, you're in teachers college. I know you thought about hanging it up at this point. You're national champ, defensive player of the year. Why don't you come out and give it another go along with Rachel Fragile in that situation? Fortunately for her career is done. And then Julia Crane, I mean, one of the all-time great scorers here in Lady Mustangs history. She goes out on a sour note, and a dream season for Nate McKibben and his squad will have to live to fight another day.
LeBlanc and Coran doing everything they could tonight. Specifically LeBlanc, not ideally a good three-point shooter, but goes 4 for 10 tonight. Finishes with 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 blocks and 3 steals. And Julia Coran, 19 points, 14 rebounds. And you have to wonder how different would this game have looked had they had their starting center, Rachel Fragile, who was their defensive anchor the entire year, averaging a double-double, 12 points and 10 rebounds.
Well, what happens, I think the key really comes down to, partner, unfortunately, is it's the 5th year of Maddie Horse. She's 2 of 18, 0 of 8 from the land beyond. Total of 4 points. Yes, she gets 8 assists. You have Coran with the double-double with 19 and 14, but they go 8 of 29 from the land beyond there. The Brock Badgers, they're content to go in the paint, 6 of 16. You end up with 4 scores in double figures. Croce has a double-double at 12 and 12. You know, Jessica Morris, of all players, leading the team with 19, and you got Taddy with 17 and Keltos with 17. They shoot 41% there in the fourth quarter in the rebounding game. You know what? We talked about, Mike Rouse said before the game, we had to rebound the ball. That is crucial in playoff basketball. Guess what? They win the rebounding battle 38-37, and they win the game.
So it's going to be the Brock Badgers who win this one, and as the red and white leave here with feelings of joy and happiness, they're going to the Critelli Cup for their chance to win a first one since 1983. The purple and gold make their way in for the second half of our Western Mustangs basketball semifinal doubleheader, as the men's Western Mustangs team will take on the Laurier Golden Hawks right after these messages. And we should get back to you in about 25 minutes for the start of this game.
Thank you very much to Zach Friedman and Greg Campbell. What a game. A hard way to go out for the Mustangs, but hey, it's been a pleasure following them all season long. It's been an absolute great hosting most of these games. What a turnaround for Nate McKibben at the squad. I know we're going to lose a lot of good players, including Julia Coran, Rachel Fragile, but hey, with a coach like Nate McKibben, you never know what's going to happen. Anyways, we're going to hear a bit of Synthesizers Modular Adventure for the next 20 minutes, but we'll be back at 7:55 for the pregame for the men's semifinal action versus the Laurier Golden Hawks. Please stay with us.
Giant, where they got this .com modular here, and they asked me to play with it.